That sounds terrible as well, by the way. I like a good bun. I've been to Cranston's, Cameron, got some good quality buns.
Good. You need good quality buns, mate.
Hey.
Good quality buns.
He's saying buns. We all know what he means.
Yeah, I know what it means. No response from Ewan just yet.
A message popped up saying beyond in 2 minutes, I thought.
Sorry?
I'm on get the Bourneville.
He just said in the chat, I'll be on in 2 minutes. So
Oh, on. Okay, that's fine. Right.
No, he said be on. I assume that's the Om song from Red Dwarf.
I have returned with the Bourneville.
Oh my goodness. Live Bourneville.
Live Bourneville. Only tonight on the Conquistabores.
On the Conquistabores.
Tonight we have...
Hailing from Birmingham, United Kingdom.
Oh boy. The Hammer, Phil Doyle, One Man Gang, Ewan Taylor, Honky Tonk, Cameron Phillips, and Jody Allen Milburn.
Thank you for sorting out that bit for me. That's always a bit of a fun bit, trying to sort out the names.
That's alright, I just off the top of my head, so I just went through.
Why didn't I get wrestling now?
Because you never do, that's the joke. You're Jody Al.
He never listens, does he? He never
listens. Once again, you would know that was a 7-year-old joke if you listened to the bloody show.
Literally, 7 years.
The height of that was when we did WrestleMania 7, and you were like, "Oh, that theme tune for WrestleMania 7 would make a cracking introduction for the podcast." Yes, it would, Al. It's the one we've been using for the last 5 years.
Yeah, waiting for those lawyers to come in and get us.
Yeah, they never have.
Gonna keep going for it. Gonna keep going for it.
Be all right. So but we're donating all that Patreon money to Vince McMahon, so it's fine.
Was it what's his name? The guy with the actor about his guns. Out of my cold, dead hands.
John
Heston.
That was the one. Yeah, I was going to say, it's like Planet of the Apes.
That is, man. But not a monkey. One of the other ones.
Not a monkey, one of the human ones.
Welcome to the Conquistabores. Tonight, the Conquistabores work their way through a single-man elimination tournament as they look at WrestleMania IV. Gingerly making their way down the steps tonight,
The Hammer, Phil Doyle, One Man Gang, Ewan Taylor, Honky Tonk, Cameron Phillips, and Jody Allen Milburn.
only tonight on the Conquistabores.
A real Did you just say a real French person?
A real Frenchy person. Not called Frenchy. A real French person.
A non-racist French person.
A non-racist French person.
He's not wearing a beret or like onions around his neck.
Onions,
or
or a stripy jumper.
Yeah. Going,
Well, that's the casual racism out the way for the cold open.
Andre the Giant says he will kick Hulk Hogan's ass. Merci. Ho ho.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that one.
Is this your stand-up act, Cameron, you're doing right now? Because I think the BNP might be doing it. It might be helping, wouldn't you?
His voice.
Yeah, me and Jim Davidson go back such a long way.
And Russ Abbott.
And Russ Abbott, yeah. And Roy Chubby Brown.
Yep. That's what we need. We need more Russ Abbott. We were just... Well, Phil was reminiscing about See You, Jimmy.
Because I maintained that the character had actually had a name, and Cameron's like, no, he doesn't. And I was like, I checked, and it's the character name was See You, Jimmy.
What a twat!
I have nothing to add to that.
Is Russ Abbott on the naughty list? Shall we say?
I don't think officially
it should be,
because I don't think he's been like he's of the era. This is clear.
Yes,
you know.
No. What happens is you appear in Last of the Summer Wine, and all your sins are gone. That's how it works.
That's an amazing theory.
Noel Edmonds didn't appear in Last of Summer Wine. He just had someone dressed up in a pink suit to fall over.
Well,
who do you think he banged instead of kids?
Whoa.
No.
Because I was thinking more of Russ Abbott's racism rather than anything else. Like the Scottish guy and things. He's all forgiven. He was in Last of the Summer Wine, and that's fine.
Remember, like, Noel Edmonds funded the theme park for Crinkly Bottom, and it had like a blobby land in it. And have you seen those? There is a blog somewhere where someone snuck into it with like a camera because it's like completely wrecked, and there's always like it looks like the most haunted place on earth.
It looks terrifying
because there's a lot of like these sort of like crumbling effigies to Mr. Blobby that have had like years of algae and like rain on them and just like faded out in the sunlight and all. Oh, it just looks horrible.
I'm gonna have to find that.
Like 1,000 years in the future. Like, it gets uncovered by archaeologists of the future. Like, oh, this was clearly like the exalted being of this era of the late 20th century.
They must have worshipped this being as a god.
This worship, the Blobbyitis, whatever he was called.
Morecambe had a blobby land, but it was not approved by Noel Edmonds. So Noel Edmonds successfully sued Morecambe Council.
Oh my God! And what did he get? 50 pence? I mean, it wasn't enough show. All it did was make celebrities look dumb, cover people in guns, and make some pretty bad jokes.
Yeah, a lot of those celebrities
put cameras in people's homes without their knowledge. Was the other main driving thing behind Noel's house party.
Someone could be watching me right now.
Yeah,
no, we're not. We're really not.
Really don't want to. Anyway,
see, Al just ravenously destroy a burger in some Bourneville.
Yeah, I've just and washed it down with some orange juice. It was very nice.
Oh, the healthy option.
So a burger, some Bournevilles, and some orange juice was tonight's Al dinner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Shall we move on to the main event?
We first should get on to what we're here for.
Yeah, otherwise we're going to be here till gone midnight.
Well, I wish you guys wouldn't choose shows with long cards. It's terrible.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, apparently I got my numbers wrong. I got my numbers wrong on my introduction. It was wrote on me dinner break. I should have counted more carefully. But I think you'll agree with me totally. The more matches, the better.
No,
I'm here to disappoint you.
We've massively disproved that as a fact.
Well, we shall explore WrestleMania IV.
Yes, from the Trump Plaza in Atlantic City.
It is bigger, better, badder, longer.
It's definitely the last one.
Yeah, before we move on to that, I always want to talk about this thing about you say the bigger and all that. Like, this is in this kind of big auditorium in the Trump Plaza or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It feels like a massive step down after WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, it's definitely a step down when you go from, like, the Pontiac Silverdome to here's a bingo hall that's just a bit bigger.
I think they say the crowd's like 20,000.
Well, the story goes. It's in New Jersey on the Atlantic Boardwalk, I think it's called. It's very famous part of America. Yeah. However, Vince just couldn't see how he could top WrestleMania 3. You know, like a bigger stadium audience. He wasn't sure. He just didn't know how to top it. So he thought was to just go in another direction and make WrestleMania weekend. So he wanted to hire a venue with lots of entertainment, family entertainment and stuff to make the whole WrestleMania weekend an experience, which still to a degree goes on today.
Potentially got like Friday night's the Hall of Fame, Saturday's NXT, Sunday's Mania. Well, you know, in the before times, and then Monday will be Raw, wouldn't it?
Well, this will be similar. There'll be similar theme things go on for this WrestleMania weekend. And also, I think he was probably good friends with Donald Trump back then, so he probably got a good deal on the venue and such like as well.
Do you think?
And I mean, I don't know. Did he go back there for WrestleMania?
Well, yeah, because 5's in the same building.
That's what. Yeah, so he must have got a very good deal. Yeah, there you go.
You got a 2-for-1.
If anyone, by the way, as a side note, wants to know what happens to the Trump Plaza now, there is a belting episode of Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown from New Jersey that covers that story on Netflix.
Okay, that I will check out later.
Sounds interesting.
There you go. There is it. Yeah, he visits it. Obviously, well, Anthony Bourdain's no longer with us, but he visited about 4 years ago when they filmed it, and it's how that building is looking now.
I'm going to guess rough.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's good.
Slightly.
Okay.
It's in the film Colour of Money, if any of us have saw The Colour of Money with Paul Newman.
classic.
That's the venue he gets to at the end.
Oh, and they're doing the big tournament at the end.
Yeah. I think it's the same building, but not like the big bit. It must be like lots of halls and stuff.
I was going to say, imagine what you're cool in that room. It'd be a bit awkward, that wouldn't it, people at the back?
Yeah, well, that wouldn't surprise me if that's where like the press conference was done in a similar room to that, because that's like a big ballroom type thing. But anyway, enough of it. So
the Scorsese chat, awesome.
So I believe, is it 15 matches or
16?
16, right?
Not the 14 you promised us.
No, I was just luring you into a false sense of security. Well, because I knew after you watched 14 of them, you'll all be so disappointed it was finished, and you'll be begging for more. So there's a couple of bonus matches for you.
It's 16, including a battle royal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, since we're getting on, we better plow through this at alarming speed. Oh
my!
So we begin with Gladys Knight, I believe.
Yes, we do. Gladys Knight wearing something I put down as a sequin top decorated by a 5-year-old who got every patch they owned and just put it on her.
Yeah, it's like she's a race car driver or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got that kind of flavour to it.
She obviously gave it to Bob Holly when she was finished.
Well, yeah.
You too can sponsor Gladys Knight for a nominal sum.
It's like, remember there's that website where they sold each pixel for like $1 million or something.
Oh yeah.
It's like that. It's just like, just get as much space on there as possible. Just get every single square inch, get a sponsor on there, because we need to make up some money because not paying her enough for this.
And now you can buy Undertaker NFTs for tens of thousands of dollars if you're psychotic.
Well, you've got to say, if you look at this, right, you had Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, and now Gladys Knight. He's pulled out some big names for the WrestleMania anthems.
That is true, he has.
And then I think it's Rockin' Robin for WrestleMania 5.
Yeah, which I think must have... I still maintain that was a rib.
It's got to be, surely. It's got to be.
Just to fill in the gaps, Gene Okerlund does WrestleMania 1.
Oh, yes, so he does.
The national anthem?
Yeah.
I completely forgotten that. I've never seen it, or it's blinded from my memory.
He does it so well he has to have cue cards to make sure he doesn't forget the words. It's incredible.
So professional.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
We start with the trophy being led down the aisle. Is that right?
Yeah, this trophy is enormous.
This is. I mean, you win the tournament, you get the WWE Championship, but no, you can win this Battle Royal and get a trophy as tall as Andre the Giant. Wouldn't that be good?
I've written here that it's the Andre the Giant, the Memorial Battle Royal before Andre died.
Yeah, I guess it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This was his retirement party.
So they start with all the people in the ring for the announcements.
We should probably explain who is in the ring, because there's about 14,000 people.
Yes, I was going to say, I can probably name them all at a push, but I'm sure you guys will have them written down.
I've got a list here. So we've got Bret Hart, Jim Neidhart, Bad News Brown, Nikolai Volkov, Boris Zukov, Danny Davis, George Steele, Harley Race, Hillbilly Jim, Jacques Rougeau, Ray Rougeau, Jim Powers, Paul Roma, Ken Patera, Ron Bass, Sam Houston, Sika, B. Brian Breyer, Jim Brunzell, and the Junkyard Dog.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
They describe it as like an invitational battle royal. If it's an invitational, who invited Dangerous Danny Davis?
That was I just wrote down Dangerous Danny Davis getting a payday. So
I remember him turning up at that Survivor Series, the one with the 10-man tag team. He rocks up in that wearing that same kind of weird outfit, and he gets like eliminated straight away because he's essentially rubbish. I think
he's a geek.
He's a nerd, but like years before they started regular nerds, isn't he? But it's not exactly. I suppose it's like, okay, we've got everybody else knocking about for the weekend. What are we going to do with him? Stick him in a battle royal.
That's what it felt like to me. It's like basically
I think it stuck a lot of people who weren't on the card in a battle royal. It's like Vince wanted to give everyone a payday before it became more famous and later WrestleMania.
Well,
but
on the WrestleMania IV press conference that I recommended that we watch, one question is asked about the fact that the Hart Foundation are on the announced card. And Mean Gene just kind of like he just kind of goes, oh well, the Hart Foundation are really good. There are going to be more matches announced. You can be guaranteed of that. But I think the Battle Royal is the only thing they didn't announce in the press conference. So like they must have just thought, oh yeah, the Hart Foundation, stick them in a Battle Royal, that'll do.
It's not that they've got tag team belts.
Exactly. But Neidhart goes out pretty early from him, doesn't he? I think, if I remember right.
He does. But
And then-
the first guy out was Sam Houston.
Obviously, because why?
Yeah.
And then Sika follows, I think, if I remember correctly.
We should probably mention our announcers are Gorilla Monsoon, Bob Euchre at this point, and starring in a bad knockoff of Baywatch, Jesse the Body Ventura. What the hell was he wearing?
Whatever he wants to, because he's Jesse the Body Ventura.
He does have a little look. He has a look on him that I would describe as Crocodile Dundee goes to aerobics class.
That's a fair comparison.
That's fair.
I've written down the last four. That's what I kind of cared about in the Battle Royal. The last four were Paul Roma.
I just want to mention one point before you go on. George Animal Steel does not get in the ring and then just decides to walk out.
He just stands on the outside and goes, "I'm getting paid. I'm here. All right, ta-ta."
Yeah, it's so bizarre, isn't it?
But he never goes in to get eliminated. You're right. He just leaves, doesn't he?
Yeah, he vanishes. There's nothing explained, and I don't know if it's something maybe happened off camera and they were supposed to film it or whatever. But he just vanishes, doesn't he?
I completely missed that. Yeah, because there's a bit of commentary where Monsoon's like, "Oh yeah, he came into the ring," and just like, "No, he didn't. He's been outside."
He's like, that idiot never got in the ring. That's
yeah. So
Final four time.
Yeah, we've got Paul Roma, Bret Hitman Hart, Junkyard Dog, and Bad News Brown, which is that's some list of people there, isn't it?
Well, I get Paul Roma out there, and then it gets a bit prettier.
Yeah. Yep. So then you have Hitman and Bad News kind of team up on JYD.
Yeah, I think at this point the crowd probably think the JYD's winning it because he was still a bit of a fan favorite.
It's the clear thing right there, isn't it? That you're going to have JYD beat the two bad heels and win because I kind of forget that back at this point the Hart Foundation were heels, weren't they? Were they still with Jimmy Hart at this point?
I don't think so.
Honestly, no, but he definitely was at the Rumble. He definitely accompanied Bret Hart at the Rumble. Yeah. I can't think of watching any matches in between, but they do a storyline where they drop Jimmy Hart because for SummerSlam, Jimmy Hart joins Demolition for one match only for them to beat the Hart Foundation. Yeah.
So they team up, and then they throw JYD out, which is a bit of like, oh, he's gone. And then Bad News and Hitman are kind of cheering in the ring, and then Bad News turns around, hits him with a ghetto blaster.
You see, they agreed to split the purse money. They agreed to split it. They were best of friends. They were all fine.
You don't trust Bad News. He's got no friends.
Bad News. I thought that was such a good finish. I really liked the finish, and Bad News win.
I'm also impressed they did this in under 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
And then the sad thing is, Bret Hart, the big sore loser.
Yes.
We listen to him all the time whining about getting screwed. Poor Bad News Brown wasn't allowed to celebrate his big trophy, was he?
No, the trophy got absolutely annihilated.
I was kind of thinking at this point, are you kind of having two heels win? I didn't know if they were trying to do like a face turn for Bret because it's a bit flat from the crowd. They don't kind of get into it at the end.
That's the face turn. That's the beginning of his face turn. Yes.
Yeah. Because Bad News is still clearly the bad guy. So, but the crowd don't cheer the trophy being smashed. I think they're just more whoa, trophy's being smashed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just cheering for the actual destruction rather than anything actually happening in the ring.
For me, obviously, some kid sat and watched that at home and it angered him. So all them years later, he decided to get his revenge against Bret Hart at the Hall of Fame ceremony.
That's what it is. It all falls into place.
I remember that. That was hysterical.
You destroyed Bad News' trophy.
You bastard. Bang. And then comes flipping Dax from, what's the name, FTR comes in.
At this point, Bob Euchre leaves to go find Vanna White to probably win himself a restraining order.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of, kind of every single fella in the building kind of having a bit of a lust after Vanna White in this.
Yep.
To the point where you have to kind of go, it was acceptable in the 80s, but it's a little bit rapey now.
A little bit.
She's apparently the official bike of WrestleMania.
It seems that way.
I just want to give a Bad News Brown fact since we've moved on from him. He is indeed an Olympic medalist.
Oh? In judo?
In judo. Bronze medal at judo he got.
So I'm sure I remember Don Callis was kind of worked with him, didn't he, I think? Or I'm pretty sure on his podcast he kind of talked about he was in that Canada, he was in the territory in Canada with I think it might have been with Rick Martel as well.
He was in Stampede for a while, he was.
But he's called, was it Bad News Allen? I think he was called
Bad News Allen, yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, so I think he's kind of. I think he's talked about it on a few podcasts how he was kind of like an early mentor for him back when he's maybe even Edge as well. I'm not even sure because he was kind of.
Else has had his fingers in a lot of pies.
It's the invisible hand, isn't he? You know,
he really is
behind everything.
Yeah.
We've got a marquee match next. This is a classic.
You need to wait. We need to go over the worst reading of a proclamation in the history of man.
Whereas the World Wrestling Federation has experienced certain extraordinary circumstances concerning the WWF Championship, and whereas the World Wrestling Federation sought to establish a fair and just way to diligently determine who should be the undisputed WWF champion, and whereas WrestleMania IV has been selected as the specific site to determine who will be the undisputed champion by way of an elimination championship tournament, and whereas the top 14 competitors in the World Wrestling Federation have been selected and paired and are present and in readiness to compete, I now proclaim that the championship tournament should begin. With champagne wishes and caviar dreams, may the best man win. I'm Robin Leach, and I do know why.
This is fucking terrible, isn't it?
It's literally the worst thing I've ever watched. It's a man reading something out with the same vigor and the same enthusiasm as a man who's lost all 4 of his limbs.
Oh, is this your boy Robin from...
Yeah, Robin Leach.
That's right, I was written down. Thanks, Robin. That's all I've written down at this point. I was kind of...
Absolutely horrendous.
Do you think he wrote this? Because this is quite a flowery description of what's like a wrestling tournament.
I would guess he did, but in hindsight, maybe somebody should have proofread it first.
What did you say? Was at the end? Was it like champagne dreams or something at the end?
Yeah, the champagne wishes.
That's it.
And what's he say? Thank you, I am Robin Leach or something at the end. Does he say something like that?
Yep, he does. Says thank you, I'm Robert Leach. It's like
it's effectively we're going to have a tournament to crown a new world champion. But it's him kind of going in the echelons of great competition. I know it's
horrendous. It's like a bad World of Sport announcement.
Like, have you seen the card? What you're on about?
All you need is like Dusty Rhodes out there to go, let's go, baby, we're having a tournament.
God, I miss Dusty Rhodes.
Like, what's the point, Dusty? You're going to win it.
Hi-yo.
2 things confuse me about this.
Go on.
Well, actually, no. Did you notice Jesse the Body Ventura laying down some kind of things for later?
Explain here, Gorillas, only the winners advance forward.
Absolutely, you must win.
If you're disqualified, you do not advance forward. If the match turns out to be a draw, both contestants don't advance. If it's a double disqualification, both contestants won't advance.
He says he talked about the rules, thinking, "Oh yeah, if there's a time limit draw, you get out, or if there's any double disqualifications." Then you're not going to go through to the next round. Like, Jesse, look at him, he knows his onions.
Sowing the seeds.
Laying it all down now. But Haxel comes out to the music, and Ted comes out to the music. It's like, what's going on here?
This threw me something crazy. Like, not many people have music.
They don't have music.
Well, yeah, Hogan does. Macho Man does.
Well,
That's about
Don
it.
Morocco does.
Oh, so he does, yeah.
No, whoa. Before you go any further, Don Morocco will have really bad music.
He does. It's terrible, but he's got it.
The point is, he has music. Whereas Ted, I suppose Ted didn't get his $1 Million theme until a bit later, did he?
1990.
Is it that late?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, 1990. Duggan got his in 1990 as well.
Yeah.
It was Big John Studd's theme, first of all. And he got it in 1990. Because remember, it closes out the Royal Rumble 89, if you remember.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Hacksaw Jim Duggan's theme song was also Big John Studd's.
Yep. Minus the hose.
I was going to say, without the hose, that's surely.
Yeah, they just had it there bits afterwards.
Imagine them go through the music. Oh, wait, that one's got a hose in it. What luck. We can use it for Hacksaw.
I actually worried about a lot of these people coming down the 74,000 steps they had to come down to get to the ring.
Yes. I thought they'd give it a very unique feel, but I agree it must have been very nervy of no one to fall over.
Yeah,
totally.
Or tear something a la Kevin Nash.
There's probably a reason why they don't film much of Warrior's entrance.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Crawling down the stairs, his hands and knees.
Prime candidate for falling arse over tit down this.
But I was right, like, it is kind of standing out, because I think it was 5, because it was more Brutus coming down, because he has music in the next one, not this one. And like those steps are quite memorable, and those kind of yellow steps through the crowd.
Yeah.
Like It is like a clear memory I have watching like this when I was really, really young.
It's the ceiling as well. Like, is it like they got the light stripped from the ceiling?
It looks like an 80s variety TV show in the ceiling, doesn't it?
Do you know how I said I was having a major deja vu during watching this?
I remember you talking to me about this.
I worked out why that was, because we've done WrestleMania V, which is in the same building, and we've done the Wrestling Classic, which had the tournament. And in my head, I was combining the two.
That makes perfect sense. Well, didn't they just use like for the WrestleMania 5, they just kind of just ripped the eye off the 4, and that was it. I'm sure if you look at the kind of flags they got, all the kind of stuff they got up in the rafters for 5, they just ripped the eye off, and there you go. There's WrestleMania.
Recycling,
5.
The possibilities are endless.
They could have done 6, couldn't they? Then they would have been stuck.
Could have done 6 and just saved the eye and just moved it to the side. Yeah.
7, they would have been a bit tricky. They had to have like half the number of flags.
Yeah. But that's okay. You got 3 years out of the one banner.
Yeah.
We'll keep the eye in case we ever do WrestleMania 1 again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know it didn't have an eye at the time.
Who likes Andre in his suit?
He looks very smart.
He does. I thought he looked great coming down.
Well, this is the tournament, isn't it? This is the first round of the 6 matches in the first round, because Hogan and Andre both received buys. Which is bizarrely, they must like doing 14, because when they did it at Survivor Series 98, they did the same thing of Taker and Kane getting buys and having the 14 men. So I guess they do not like doing 16. They can't possibly do that one extra match.
No,
2 extra matches. Sorry, yeah. So we get one of the tournament favourites, Ted DiBiase, with his entourage of Virgil and Posh Andre, and then we get Jim Duggan of his entourage of a plank of wood.
Yes.
But it's like, I'm going to come back to this scene because a lot of these matches, they get them done in 5 minutes for the majority of them, don't they?
Well, when you've got 100 matches to get through on the card,
and I'm pretty sure Duggan and DiBiase worked together, like, was it Mid-South or where it was? They were
I think it was Mid-South. I think you're correct, yeah.
So they work really well. Like, there's a great bit where I think Duggan hits Ted with a clothesline, and Ted just flips himself over on his head on the floor.
Yeah, these guys were working really, really hard for an opening match of a long show.
Yeah, but I think they got to kind of put a marker down after the Battle Royal, because the Battle Royal is not really proper match. Like, I think in these days it's on the pre-show, isn't it? The Battle Royal.
Yeah,
most years, not every year, but most years.
Yeah. This is like effectively your opening match, isn't it? So they got to put something down to kind of get the crowd up on their feet, and Duggan gets them up on their feet because, as we all know, he's like the greatest wrestler.
Fans love him for whatever he does. Fans have always loved him for years.
Just that charisma for him, isn't it? And Ted's like, at this point, it's probably like he's the top heel, isn't he? Apart from Andre, I think he's like the top heel in the company. So you got like a good opener. And it wasn't that long. It wasn't terrible. I didn't mind it.
I think this is one of the better matches, if I'm honest with you. But I quite enjoyed the finish. I thought the finish was clever with Duggan going for his 3-point stance and Andre just grabbing the leg. I thought that was such a good little thing I did.
It's probably the most mobile Andre's been for a long time by this point.
Well, this is probably the best use for him, isn't it? Because I think WrestleMania 3 was probably like his last, nowhere near his prime, but that's probably like his last great physical performance.
Yeah.
Whereas after that point, you could really kind of see like all the issues he was suffering with from that point. But like having him just at ringside, just like grabbing people's legs and just looking at the referee like, "Oh, did you anything, boss? What's the matter?" Like, that's brilliant. And Ted does his falling knuckle punch, which I love.
The fist drop, fantastic!
The falling fist drop looks amazing. It's such a move which anyone can do a fist drop, but Ted DiBiase was the only one that seemingly did that sort of like, I'll just tilt on one leg and then
the move's so good it made WrestleFest.
Oh yeah, it did. I forgot about that.
There you go.
So good, it's in WrestleFest.
Well, I enjoyed that opener, and DiBiase's through, and he will face the winner of Dino Bravo versus Don Morocco, or The Rock, to give him his true title. Now, I guess you guys probably watched the dubbed version on the network, but Don Morocco's music is Jesus Christ Superstar.
It's quite jarring when you read it. Yeah, it is. It's when I heard it, I thought, is this like WWE dubbing gone wrong? But no, that's his actual theme.
Why does he announce him just as Canada's strongest man? He's the world's strongest man as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but it's not official. Here he comes, superstar Billy Graham along with The Rock, and they're on their feet, this tremendous crowd here for WrestleMania 4. As you can bet that DiBiase will be watching this match very closely.
Honestly, announcing just as Canada's strongest man. He's the world's strongest man as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but it's not official. Here he comes, superstar Billy Graham along with The Rock, and they're on their feet, this tremendous crowd, here for WrestleMania IV. As you can bet that DiBiase will be watching this match very closely.
And that was not on the network version at all.
So yeah, that's what he used. It's got nothing to do with this, but Switzerland have a penalty to go 2-0 up against France.
There you go.
Thank you for dating the podcast out. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's on me.
We had a little Brutus and Mean Gene promo, which Brutus kind of makes no sense, but looks really, really unhinged with a pair of shears.
Why does that man have a pair of shears? He's
shouldn't
clearly
be allowed
mentally
them.
disturbed.
I was really worried he's going to take someone's finger off of those things because they look really nasty.
Like Brutus the Beefcake's original gimmick was going to be a gardener.
Possibly.
Brutus the gardener.
Brutus the gardener Beefcake, and he was going to have some shears and a trowel.
I can't think of a food beginning with G. Gary the gardener goulash.
Well, we know Gary Glitter's not going to be one.
All right, we've had enough 80s references for tonight of 80s paedophiles. Don't make me edit that out.
We've had enough 80s paedophile references tonight. Is that what
we've done our quota?
Well, yeah.
We're only on to the second match. Third match.
It's 88, isn't it? That's the problem. We like Dino. Dino gets music. Morocco gets music.
Morocco's got superstar Billy Graham managing them.
Yeah,
yes, who looks absolutely enormous.
He just look a bit like a beefy boy, doesn't he?
And then is Frenchy Martin with Dino?
Yes, French Martin is with Dino.
He's French Canadian, isn't he? So therefore, Frenchy Martin.
I wrote down none of these men in this particular match would pass a wellness test in modern days, I think.
No.
Really. Most of the managers, Frenchy Martin might, but the rest of them, you're right, probably
definitely wouldn't. Yeah.
No, I didn't think this match was the best match. It could have been better. The ending is a bit shoddy, and I think is there a bit where there's a massive no-sell on a pile driver.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
And Jesse Ventura tries to cover for it, yeah.
Oh, Morocco hits his pile driver, which is his finisher, and Bravo kicks out, killing his finisher. It's
he kicks out. I guess that's not the finish, but he kicks out really easily. I think that's he doesn't sell it at all.
Yeah,
it's quite ridiculous.
And then we've got a disqualification. Oh, he pulls the referee, doesn't he? He pulls the referee, and then hits his side suplex, but he gets disqualified.
Yeah, Morocco murders the ref of the forearm, doesn't he, when he gets pulled? And then Bravo gets which how often does that happen? Where the ref actually remembers the person got pulled them in front of the other person.
If you're talking modern day WWE, never.
And all the time I've watched it, I think that's the only time where the rest come to and gone, you pulled me in front of him, disqualification, rather than just kind of carrying on with the match, which is what normally happens.
Yeah.
I've written in my notes here, it's Don wins in a rare moment of the referee actually doing something.
Yeah, which we'll come back to in another match.
Yes.
France have now equalised. Switzerland failed to take the penalty, and it's now 1-1.
All right, grandstand.
Jesus.
Yeah,
you're the one saying we're going to have to belt through these matches, and you're giving running fucking commentary.
Can we say growl stand?
Oh,
growl stand, does that work? It's a stretch, but it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Valentine versus Steamboat. Do we want to talk about the Honky Tonk promo? No, good.
No, not really.
Steamboat gets music, and Greg's already in the ring.
Yeah, what's that about?
Music's probably edited as well.
Probably,
yeah, I think so.
Steamboat's with his son, isn't he?
Yeah, Little Dragon's got his own little outfit.
There's a story about Little Dragon.
I don't want to know about this.
And I knew there was going to be.
Do we want to hear a story about Ricky Steamboat's Little Dragon?
I was going to say he was training in NXT for a while, was he not?
Yeah.
I think he was. That wasn't the story, though. The story goes, he asked Vince McMahon for some time off to be with his little dragon, when it's born, his wife,
Yeah.
Vince McMahon rewards him by stripping him with his IC title and then jobbing him out to anyone he'll do, yeah.
Fantastic.
Because this is Steamboat's last match, isn't it, before he goes back to WCW?
So he goes back to WCW very shortly, or NWA, whatever it was at the time, yeah.
He's not that long to go until he's back in WCW or Jim Crockett.
He would have gone back, this would have been like we had that kind of classic trilogy with Ric Flair, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Tri-Town Rumble and that kind of stuff.
Would have been, yeah.
So, Small mercies.
In a blink of an eye, France are 2-1 up.
I thought you were going to start with the match.
Nice quote from Jesse Ventura about Valentine's tactics. He should definitely cheat.
Yes.
Yeah.
About as blatant as you can get.
Is there a bigger physical contrast between two wrestlers than in like body shape than there is between Steamboat and Greg the Hammer Valentine?
Greg does kind of represent that kind of the early kind of like the late 70s barrel chested. Nicely,
made out of Play-Doh and blue tack wrestler.
Up against the kind of the kind of more ripped hard body aesthetic that you would get in
chiseled.
The 80s.
Looks like he works out a fuck of a lot. Steamboat. I bloody love watching Ricky Steamboat matches. By the way,
he is really good.
He's cracking, isn't he?
He's so good, and just like I mean, remember that I can't remember what the event was. The Iron Man match with Rick Rude we did not long ago.
Oh yeah,
that was an absolute belter. I loved that match.
Yeah.
This one obviously doesn't really give him a chance to show off any great level because they're the.
Oh no.
The problem I've got with most matches is the fact they don't really get a lot of time, but it's still decent enough.
They've got to do the quote they do for every Greg Valentine match of he doesn't get going until 15 minutes in.
Every single time.
I don't think I've ever saw a 15-minute Greg Valentine match.
No, I don't think so either.
What about at the Royal Rumble when he was up against was it Ronnie Garvin?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, I'll give you that. That was a very good match.
Well, I'm sure that went about a good 15 minutes. I'll check on that later. Hi, Phil from the future here. Just to confirm that match we're discussing from Royal Rumble 1990 actually went for 16 minutes and 55 seconds. So there you go. Did anybody else enjoy Monsoon's external protuberance comments?
Hammer dishing out the punishment here as the tide is turned in this one up. Right on the back of the head, right in the external occipital protuberance area. That'll knock you out to the middle of next week.
A what?
I'll tell you later.
Can you repeat that again, Gorilla?
What is that? 2 count. Oh, he almost got it.
What you said there, where he got hit.
That little bump on the back of your head.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Monsoon's bodyisms, as I call them, are rampant throughout this show.
But it massively tickled Jesse Ventura, which is really funny. He's like, "What was that? What did you say? Say it again." I quite like that. But yeah, the finish, Valentine, I think he's supposed to pull Steamboat's tights, but just doesn't bother and pins him.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's pretty much probably the best match of the show so far.
Yeah, I got that, yeah.
I want to give you one thought, though.
Go on then.
Go on.
What happened if Steamboat won?
This is what I'm saying now. If he won, he meets the winner of the next round, which is who?
Yep.
Savage versus Butch Reed.
Yep. So I was really looking forward to Steamboat versus Butch Reed as well. But anyway,
God's sake.
What happened to you? So Butch Reed, the first man ever
eliminated. Hold on. Are we skipping over the British Bulldogs and Coco Beware's promo?
Oh God, I've written that down.
Okay,
Yeah.
no.
So we cut to Mean Gene, who's got the British Bulldogs and Coco Beware. The amount of steroids on screen is absolutely unreal. And the Bulldogs explain that Matilda is a certified weasel hunter.
Mean Gene, she's the only certifiable weasel dog in the world.
Whoa, wait a minute. Weasel dog? What are you talking about, a weasel dog?
Meaning she'll be going after Bobby the Brain Heenan later on.
That dog is hunting nothing.
No, that dog's running 3 feet, falling over, and probably having a heart attack.
Well, you heard the stories of how wrestlers used to post laxatives underneath the hotel room doors of the British Bulldogs for the dog to eat. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll tell you, the biggest crime, though, of all this is that, Bulldogs have got a dog, Coco's got Frankie the parrot. At no point is the parrot riding on the dog. At no point.
Is that something you wanted to see?
Of course.
Really? I think there was enough animal cruelty in the WWF without having a parrot riding on a bulldog.
You could put like a little saddle on him or something, or like a jacket to kind of like a leather thing so the claws wouldn't go through. But come on.
He hasn't got Frankie during this promo, though, has he?
Well, yeah, that's not the point. The point is at no point.
To try to get him in his saddle, he won't get in his saddle.
Frankie saddle on the back of a dog. That would have been. Imagine the visual: the dog running to the ring with Frankie on his back. Frankie flying Matilda into the ring. Yeah.
Do you think this is how we ended up with the camels at WrestleMania 9? Vince had the idea of doing Frankie on Matilda, but it didn't work, so you got the camels at Caesar's
I want to
Palace.
see something riding an animal, pal. I want that in my show.
I think maybe we should get on because we're on match 5 of 6.
Well, stop talking about the football then.
Stop talking about the football and don't pick 16-match cards.
I think my football commentary's been a lot less than your saddle commentary.
It's not a factoid, but an observation made about the show. Aren't there a lot of intercontinental champions in this tournament?
Yes.
Morocco, Valentine, Steamboat.
But that goes back to a point I
Butchery?
made a while ago that this is back in the era where the IC belt was seen as the one just below the heavyweight championship belt. So if you were a former or current IC champion, you were seen to be equal to the world champion. You hadn't had your chance at the belt yet, which is something in modern day WWE is lost now because all the belts don't mean anything.
Yeah, so it's interesting the fact it seems like they're actually kind of following through with that and thinking like, oh, the people who are in the tournament are all kind of IC champions or ex-IC champions.
Yeah, that's how it should be. You should have people in your tournament.
Makes too much sense.
That's it. Yeah, you said it.
But this one is just like, is it a little bit of action and then Savage wins?
Pretty much. I think Butch Reed was just here to make sure he got his comp for the night.
Yeah. But yeah, the fact that you could have had Savage versus Steamboat in a kind of repeat of the WrestleMania III match, and it was
I love that. That match is still. I watch it occasionally, and it's still so good.
Mm.
Now, a little Butch Reed fact.
Ooh.
Because there's not much to say, apart from he's the first man ever eliminated for a Royal Rumble.
Well,
he was supposed to win the Intercontinental Champion from Steamboat. When Vince decided Steamboat wasn't good enough, he wanted it stripped straight away. So he planned Butch Reed to win it at this taping. However, due to weather or whatever, Butch Reed didn't show up. So it was like, somebody's taking it. Honky Tonk Man, he'll do. Give it to Honky Tonk Man.
And the rest is history.
Was it not Butch Reed that then buggers off to WCW and forms Doom with...
Doom, he does indeed,
Yeah.
Before it was a poor film starring Dwayne Johnson, yes, he went to form Doom.
Wow.
Film does suck. So, we have made it through the first round, and our quarterfinals are looking at the moment.
No, you might be wishful thinking, but we've not made it that far yet.
Yes.
I don't want to review the next match.
There's still 2 more matches to come.
I don't want to review the next one.
We got Bobby the Brain and the Islanders. That's fun. Look at their tights; they're amazing. And then we get One Man Gang versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam apparently coming down to some knockoff Rick Rude music.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I just wrote down both these men are enormous. And I don't mean that in a muscular sense. I mean that as in you've been to the buffet.
There's a lot of beef, but you know what? Bam Bam gets me with a cartwheel. And I'm like, I was like, I'm in.
And his manager's called Oliver Humperdinck. What more do
They
you
don't make a good combination of two, though, do they? Come on.
I'd like to put forward my nomination for best misheard commentary quote tonight that I did during this match.
Mm-hmm.
Ventura at one point says, 2 big trucks. But for some reason in my head, it came out as 2 mad drunks.
I thought you were going to say 2 big fucks.
That's what I thought he was going as well. That's what I thought he was going.
No. That would be rude.
Well, this is where we get, I think, what is arguably the worst finish of the night.
I don't think it's arguably. I think it's the worst finish of the night.
Yeah, it's
even when I first watched this, it'd been I think it was 11. I thought this was a stupid finish.
Yeah.
So Bam Bam takes a pretty nasty looking spill over the top rope.
Yeah, it didn't look like fun.
And then he starts getting counted out, and then he climbs up onto the apron, and the referee still counts him. And then I think as he's climbing through the ropes, the referee counts him 10, and that's it.
With the one man guy wailing away at them and stop them getting in the ring. Yeah.
Yeah. And the gang's hitting him, and the ref's going like 7. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you still reffing at this point?
Well, Bigelow's got a bad knee at this point, and I could be wrong, but I think this might be Bigelow's last match until he's returning. When he became 92, 93, when he returned. Then
did he come back with Luna Vachon, or did she kind of join him later?
No, it was later on. Yeah,
later on. Yeah.
Well, let's have a little look. 88 is when he joins. September is when he debuts in WCW.
God, I remember Bam Bam in ECW. That was insane how good he was.
Yeah, he leaves WWF around July 1988, sorry. And then, he's with WCW for a couple of years and comes back to WWF in 92.
The most offensive thing about this match is the fact that Gorilla saw it fit to roll out the irresistible force beats the immovable object quote.
But they're very beefy boys, though, aren't they? They're very beefy.
That doesn't make up for the fact they were basically two fucking fridges that couldn't barely do anything.
I mean, Bam Bam's still leading his career, is he? So I don't think he's quite as good as he would become after that. But he did a cartwheel. Come on.
Bam Bam's still a beller, but this isn't really a great. If he had a knackered knee, then this is probably a reason why Bam Bam wasn't as mobile as he maybe could be during this match. One man gang's just fucking awful.
He is awful.
Yes.
At least at this point, he's not massively racist,
Yet.
Yeah, that's the coming.
That's next
year. At the end of the year.
Yeah.
What is also possibly one of the most Ultimate Warrior-esque Hulk Hogan promos I've ever seen.
This is insane.
Oh, he's slamming somebody to the ocean or something, isn't he?
He's slamming Andre, which is going to snap off the east coast of America.
You can see me and Gene like corpsing so bad.
Everyone's like sinking to the bottom of the sea, including Donald Trump.
Yep.
He's got 100 of his family. Doubtful.
Yep.
As he's hanging there, but then he can like hang onto Hogan's back and he'll doggy paddle him to safety.
He just put his entire promo in this pot because I think it's only 3 minutes long and it's probably 3 minutes of absolute comedy gold.
Before we do so, before it plays, can I just point out the point in this promo in which he says Trump will know enough to let go of his material possessions. He didn't fucking do that when he became president, Hogan.
But if you looked in their eyes, man, have you seen the fear in all those little Hulksters? They realize that when I get Andre the Giant cinched up in the launch position, when I slam him through the Trump Plaza, brother, from New York down to Tampa, Florida, the fault line is going to break off. And as Andre the Giant falls into the ocean, as my next two opponents fall to the ocean floor and I pin them, so will Donald Trump and all the Hulkamaniacs. But as Donald Trump hangs onto the top of the Trump Plaza with his family under his other arm, as they sink to the bottom of the sea, thank God Donald Trump's a Hulkamaniac. He'll know enough to let go of his materialistic possessions, hang on to the wife and kids, dog paddle with his life all the way to safety. But Donald, if something happens, you run out of gas, and all those little Hulkamaniacs run out of gas, just hang on to the largest back in the world, and I'll dog paddle us, backstroke all of us to safety.
Oh, and thank you, Hulk Hogan. Let's get back to action. Wow.
Yeah, he's like, Hogan's basically saying, I'm going to kill the entire East Coast of America to beat Andre. That's what I'm going to do.
As Cameron said, it's the most coked up Hogan I think I've ever seen.
God, yeah, it's totally coked up. Beyond all belief.
What did you think of this promo, Al?
He's the best.
There you go. That's it.
That's the Alan word on
just the best. Just the best.
I don't really like the next match, I gotta say.
What?
What is this? Jake Roberts versus Rick Rude?
Yeah, I think the guys could put a good match on, but they know they're playing for a time limit draw, so I just think it's stall.
That's fair. That's fair. I give this match a pass because we get a fantastic Rick Rude introduction.
Yes.
Suppose it is built into the story slightly because Heenan is at ringside screaming to Rick Rude that he's wasting time.
Yeah, I think the problem is they've announced the matches like 15 minutes in the first round, but they don't actually announce it 5 minutes left. No, 10 minutes left.
They don't do that.
They're not WCW, no.
No, there are 5 minutes remaining.
If we go back to that Rick Rude match that Cam talked about earlier, the Iron Man match.
Yeah.
Remember at the end of that when it was like 2 minutes left, and the kind of how frantic that built to the end of the match when it was like you've got to get that last pin to win the match sort of thing.
Yeah, but that one kind of did it naturally.
Yeah. But I think that it's what this match is missing, that kind of build to the finish where it's like, oh, we need to win. It just kind of, you just get a count out, the bell rings midway through a pin. It's like, oh, it's done.
I have an idea for a future roundtable that was inspired by this match.
Ooh,
okay.
And that is the best mustache in wrestling.
Yes.
Best mustache.
Because these two had some absolute crackers.
There are two fine examples of this match. I think, Rude's mustache is up there with Tom Selleck's. If you're talking mustaches in general.
Fucking Magnum TA.
The Magnum, that's a good one, to be fair. But, Magnum PI, Tom Selleck, I think is arguably the best mustache. Hands down.
There we go.
Both for length, girth, and longevity. So,
what about Hercule Poirot's mustache? That's a more refined mustache.
Are you talking Don Suchet, Pyrical Pyro, or Kenneth Branagh?
The good
no,
Because you got to sort out the best Poirot mustache from the actors first, then we'll discuss, where he kind of stacks into the overall mustache table.
I feel we've reached an important subject.
Oh,
yeah, we'll come back to. Yeah, we'll return to mustaches.
Yeah,
but I mean, if we're gonna pick anybody from this first round, if you're gonna pick anybody to go 15 minutes, you kind of want it to be Jake and Rude.
Yeah, I suppose you'd rather have this go 15 minutes than One Man Gang Bigelow.
Yeah,
I would have actually paid money to see that go 15 minutes to see who blew up first.
Yeah, or if you're gonna pick it, if you'd got your Savage Steamboat match, that's the one that should have gone 15 minutes.
Yeah, but then it would have meant that both been eliminated.
Everything would have moved around and all that kind of stuff. But
of course, this was the beginning of the feud where Rick Rude would go in Mendy's tights.
Yes.
Yep. Did we do that match? Was that the next? Were they doing that WrestleMania 5? Was that a Rumble we did?
It's SummerSlam when he wears the tights, even though he's not actually facing Roberts for the in the pay per view.
Yeah, because Ventura keeps calling out the Roberts wife, doesn't he, all the time during the commentary? Remember now?
So yeah, the SummerSlam he wears the tights for his match then. I don't think they ever got the big pay per view payoff. I think it was on like Saturday night's main event or something. I don't think they ever. I'm thinking odd, but by the time Survivor Series comes on, he's on to Andre pretty much. I mean, I suppose Rude is in that match as well, but yeah, they never got the big.
But it's weird how Rude never got positioned as like the top level heel, did he? He was like, he was always up there, but he was never quite, the top heel.
Well, he got his time at SummerSlam 90. He got his main event at SummerSlam 90.
Yeah, but yeah, it always felt like a bit of a kind of a not a missed opportunity, because obviously he had some great matches in WWF and his character was great, but you kind of feel like that there's somebody who probably should have had like at least a run with more than the IC belt.
Yeah, well, he got 6 months or something, didn't he? WrestleMania, SummerSlam, he got.
I mean, he's always in my mind more of a WCW guy, Rick Rude.
That's fair. That's fair.
To be honest,
did anyone else notice that this match does not go 15 minutes?
Oh,
of course it didn't.
It went 15 minutes and 10 seconds.
Oh, of course it went longer.
God, you were there with the stopwatch.
3-1 to France there.
There we go. Thanks, Al. So this match was a bit blah. Anyway, now we are finished with the quarterfinals. So now we're finished the first round even.
So we get backstage, we get Mean Gene with a board, with the wall chart, speaking of football, which is much better than the Wrestling Classics wall chart.
Oh, totally. They've had a time to redo that one, totally.
And then we get, Vanna White with a great quote.
Vanna, isn't it exciting?
It is exciting. I'm having a great time.
It's like, the sarcasm just drips out of her voice.
Yeah. Is this the part where she says about Randy Savage, it's good to see a woman person behind him?
Yes, that's what
a woman person as opposed to a woman.
As opposed to a woman, yes. But Vanna White is, and you have to look at Mean Gene kind of like getting a bit hot under the collar for Vanna White, and it's just like, oh god,
it's just pretty cringe.
It is exciting, like he's talking to a small child. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it is so exciting. I like Hulk.
I bet you do.
I bet you do.
Anyway, back to people who are a bit dicey on stairs. It's time for the Warrior versus Hercules.
Here we go. Here we go.
Hercules.
This is like a really weird Warrior match in the fact that it's like totally, obviously, the sort of embryonic stage of his character. The face paint's there. No tassels?
He has got tassels, but very few.
Has he got tassels? But he's only like one colour, isn't he? He's like that light blue kind of trunks, and that's about it.
There's like about 5 tassels on each kind of bicep and calf. There's not much on there at all.
But it's a very muted Ultimate Warrior match, because it's not, it's not as if he comes in there, destroys Hercules in like 30 seconds, pins him, buggers off again.
Well, it's like Hercules starts in the ring with his chain. I assume Brain just stayed out there from the last match, didn't bother kind of going back, because why would you? But like when the music hits, it's still a big pop. He kind of comes down the stairs. He proper goes down the stairs, doesn't he? I think he's not sure at first, and I think he just points and goes, "Oh fuck it, I'm going for it." Just off down he goes, and he's in the ring. He like misses up some moves. There's a few bits where it's like, I think there's like something on the top. I think Warrior tries to choke Hercules on the top rope, but he just misses the top rope.
Yeah,
like he doesn't fall back far enough.
It's a bit sloppy, but compared to the beef match we had, this is a lot better.
Yeah. Oh, and also Hercules' trunks, they're much more acceptable in this match. We can see much less of his butt cheeks.
I knew he would say that.
Hercules needs to have the correct size of trunks, and I think he
they're
does.
nowhere near as bad as they are in his Power and Glory days. They're much more acceptable.
No,
this would be Warrior's first pay-per-view.
Really?
Is it really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can kind of tell. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I mean, God bless him and all that, but
the finish was interesting as well. They went for a bit of a bizarre finish, I felt.
yeah, it was a weird sort of moment where both of them fell down, but the ref was counting 3, and because Warrior managed to get his shoulder up just before 3, he won the match by jerking.
yeah, is it they do like the kind of Piper Hitman finish?
Like the double back, it's a back suplexy type thing, yeah.
Kind of like a German suplex, but Warrior
foul chestnut
lifts his shoulder.
Yeah.
It's a bit of I guess it's another excuse to get Warrior on the card without putting them in the tournament final, which anyway, we'll get to that in the summing up at the end, I feel.
There we go. But now it's time for everyone to run to the concession stand because it's intermission time.
Yeah, there's a weird cut, isn't there, of this match, on the network version at least. It's like a kind of weird cut where it kind of goes to a bit of the WrestleMania. It kind of goes back to the WrestleMania 3 build, doesn't it? All that kind of stuff about Andre.
Yeah, what was cut was basically a bunch of WWF merchandise advertisements.
The old Doc Hendricks coming out to do the selling.
I don't know.
As you would get in later years. I love that. I don't think it's on network anymore, but Doc Hendricks coming out saying, I got some jeans, buy some jeans. Like, no, Doc. Go.
Did anyone else enjoy, on a random note, Todd Pettengill In Your House as much as I did?
I didn't see his bits. I haven't watched the show yet.
Oh, it was superb.
Was he good?
He was good.
Todd.
As in the last NXT.
Yes. The last takeover.
I've not even seen it yet. I don't know.
Yep. Todd Pettengill was the host, and my God, he did so well. He's so much better than he was. He was so much better than he was back in the day.
Oh, brilliant! Tell me, please. Did they give away a house?
Sadly, no.
Oh,
I don't think Vince McMahon can afford to give away a fucking caravan at the minute. Never mind a house.
I think he can. I just think he wants to get. He wants to have more caravans.
He doesn't want to. He wants to.
Can you imagine Vince McMahon going on a caravan on holiday?
I would pay money to watch that.
That would be amazing.
Not a static caravan. It needs to be one you to pull with you with a car.
Just like towing it along in a field somewhere in Dorset or something like that.
It'd be like, why have I not had this gimmick of the caravan man? You know, he can come to the ring. He's called in a caravan. This is about
putting a caravan behind him.
To me, that's a wasted opportunity for Merlin Wasey. Anyway,
nice bit of it was nice looking back at the WrestleMania build because I just like seeing Andre when he's kind of choking people out. Just looks insane, like he's kind of wide-eyed, crazy
he's got
Andre.
A brilliant look to him. Absolutely
so scary.
When he's doing the headbutts to the back of Hogan's head, that's amazing. I think it's like the combination of obviously he's massive, he's got crazy hair, and he's got this big, massive, toothy grin.
Yeah,
and he's incredible.
He doesn't look an absolute psychopath. It's probably the same look you get when you tell him that there's last orders.
Probably, yeah. He'll have to order his 18th bottle of red wine that evening.
This match isn't over yet. It's 3-2 now.
Thanks, Al.
It's after the promo. Monsoon says, well, all that is now water under the dam. I don't think how dams work.
I don't think dams meant to keep water out.
It's a faulty dam.
If you're getting water under your dam, then something's horrifically wrong with the engineering of that.
Does anyone think this kind of feels... I know it's a tournament and they're in the quarterfinals, but it feels a bit too big for midway through the card?
Yeah.
I would say it's... no, it's probably okay where it is. Well, it needs to be okay where it is, obviously, because it's the quarterfinal match.
Yeah.
But there's probably a reason why people talk about the WrestleMania 3 main event more than this. You know, no one ever goes, oh yeah, Hogan and Andre at WrestleMania 3, and then they had a rematch a year later. No one ever finishes that sentence.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this is
the other one's more famous, isn't it? The one with the twin referees, much more famous than this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I didn't realise that's where they debuted the Winged Eagle belt.
Is it?
Yeah, when he is it when they strip it off DiBiase?
Yeah, I think it's either for that match or it's kind of around that time when they kind of drop the one that Hogan had before and then bring in the... I think is it because Andre might win and need a bigger belt? Is that the reasoning for it? Something like that. Can't remember. But yeah, it's around that time when they bring the belt because when they kind of you see Hogan in the promo for WrestleMania 3, it's a different belt, and then when they bring the belt later, it's the Winged Eagle one. It's like, so I did a quick check. I was like, oh yeah, they did it for that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Didn't know that.
Yeah. Ted and Virgil coming out with Andre because he clearly needs backup.
Yep.
We get the typical. I think at this time there's always a point in the match where Andre gets tied up in the ropes.
Yes, he does that a fair amount.
Yeah, so we can have a little sit down on the rest.
I just want to give you a WrestleMania IV fact here. Has anybody ever watched the original when you bought it on 2 VHSs?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Well, the VHS finishes in the middle of this match. So you have to put tape number 2 in, not before the match, not after the match, in the middle of the match.
Oh, the limitations of VHS tape.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Is that before or after Ted comes in with a chair?
I'm sure it's before. It's like I'm sure he's got him in a chokehold. Andre's got Hogan in a chokehold, and then a little tune plays, and it's like please insert tape number 2 or something like that. It continues on tape number 2, something like that. Yeah, I must have that somewhere. I must have it upstairs somewhere.
Bound to. Hogan grabs Andre Andre grabs Hogan from the floor in the chokehold and just drags him to the ground, choking him out. I don't know why, but I thought that was really good. Because Hogan's just Andre's down, Hogan just goes to pick up. Andre's like, no, I'm just going to choke you to death.
There's a lot of you can tell they're trying to limit the physicality that Andre has in this match.
Because again, this one goes for 5 minutes,
something like that. It's not very long.
It's fairly short,
and it has possibly one of the worst chair shots I think I've seen.
Which is that when Ted waffles Hogan?
Yes.
And then Hogan waffles Andre, and then there's a lot of waffling with a. I think Andre hits Hogan with a chair shot, and it sounds really nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh my god! Oh, it's been ruled out for offside. Sorry. I thought that was the Swiss equaliser.
How the hell am I going to edit this? How is this going to work?
You just have to put the grandstand theme tune over it.
Continually. Yeah, it sounds like the chair's not quite closed properly. So when he hits it, like the metal hits itself, and it goes like a clang noise.
It sounds horrendous.
Yeah, and then so it's double DQ. Hogan goes off after Ted. Hogan goes to suplex Virgil on the entryway, but doesn't fall back.
Virgil is not taking that bump at all.
Nope.
Because he lands practically on his feet, or tries to anyway, to absorb it.
It's quite a dangerous bump, I think, especially considering Hogan's not going with him. That's quite.
Hogan's not dropping back. Hogan's like, I'm staying on my feet, pal. How you land is your concern. I'm just going to drop you halfway through.
Now, I think Andre the Giant should have won this match because I believe Hogan uses the chair first. So I don't understand why they're disqualifying Andre.
I have got this down in my notes.
Well, technically, Ted uses it first, isn't it? Ted hits Hogan. That's technically Andre disqualified.
I don't think did the ref not see that? No,
he didn't see that because the ref's over with. Is it Virgil in the corner? He's distracted.
I think
regardless.
it would have made a great storyline for Andre to win, and then to just come to the ring and get walk out straight away, or just get counted out. I think that would be such a funny.
That would have fit with the story. The whole thing about Andre just basically as a mercenary to get Hogan out of the contest. Like that.
So
would
DiBiase now no, sorry. Well, we don't know it's DiBiase yet, but the winner of the Don Morocco DiBiase match advances to the semi-finals. Yeah, and I quite liked this little match. It didn't go on long, but I don't think it was bad.
No. I got confused because I think it's like a quick macho promo where he's wearing a new cape, which is respect.
Oh yeah, he changes his outfits throughout
every single match.
Morocco's got a new T-shirt. What really confuses me is that Ted comes out not wearing a suit when he was wearing a suit 5 minutes ago in the Hogan Andre match.
It was a bit sweaty. He had to take it off. Yeah.
No Virgil because Virgil's dead, as we discussed just now, being dropped headfirst onto concrete.
Yes, you don't see Virgil at all ever again.
No,
I need to address one more point. I believe Hogan manages to actually slam Andre without sinking America.
He does actually, yeah.
He does, yeah. New Jersey still stands today, right now.
There is no crack in the false Superman style where the whole thing just kind of drops off into the ocean. So maybe if you slam Yokozuna, that's why they had to slam Yokozuna on a boat because the sea would have taken the cushion, wouldn't it?
That's a good point. That is a good point. I never thought of that.
Never thought of that. Oh, it makes sense now. Yeah, I think Ed's just he just sells so well, doesn't he, for people when he's in the ring for somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is this the match where Ted DiBiase wins it with what is effectively a stun gun?
Yeah, it's a quite nice little finish. That
yeah. It's a like whacking. It comes out of bloody nowhere, but it's like Morocco gets like
as like a heel finish. Clotheslining your fellow on the top rope. It works, doesn't it? It works for Ted's character. So
yeah,
and as a result of this, Ted DiBiase is a free bye to the finals.
However, the catch is he has to come to the ring to be announced.
Yeah, one man gang does it after this. It's like going to go the afternoon. One man gang gets a bite. Have a little wave. Off we go again.
I mean, the problem is the poor one man gang will be absolutely gassed.
Walk out the ring and then walk back again.
Back up and down the steps. It's ridiculous.
This is where they needed the wee WrestleMania trolleys.
Just clattering down the stairs.
Yep.
You'd have to have like the kind of cable cars to get down the stairs, wouldn't you?
An industrial Stana stair lift.
Yeah. A big Andre the Giant size one.
Yep.
So the final match, is it Savage Valentine? Is that right?
Savage Valentine, yeah. Which could have been Savage Steamboat, but what are you going to do?
Yep.
Yeah, they have a match and Savage wins, basically.
He counters a small figure 4 into a small package, I believe.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes.
It was there.
It's not bad, man. I don't think it's a bad match, but you're right. It's getting lost in the shuffle of matches at the minute.
Yeah.
I say we kind of take stock at the end of the quarterfinal stage. It's only really the one man gang Bigelow match, which is like which is borderline offensive.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
everything else has been like all right at worst.
Yeah.
I think it falls into the category of if it went much longer, it would be offensive, but because it's like 5 minutes or under, it's fine.
Yeah, I think they kind of rattle through them, and the only one that kind of goes a long time is the Roberts Rude match, which is they drag on a little bit in the middle, but I think those two got charisma to kind of carry for that long. So it's not like it could be worse. We have seen the Wrestling Classic, so we do know things can be worse.
This is also a moment where Gorilla Monsoon somehow gets away with downplaying a WrestleMania attendance.
Yes.
Because he just says, they'll say there's such and such a many thousand people in here, but I think
it's 3-3!
There we go.
No.
This match is incredible! The best news is, lads, we're going to have another half an hour for me to commentate because it's probably going to make
anyone else notice Mean Gene on his wall chart forget how the rounds work?
Yes.
It's it's the after the quarterfinals, and then we got he looked at the board, third round. No, Gene.
Mean Gene was picking out his dinner at the time and kind of messed up a little bit. He forgot he was on camera.
Yeah, I think he kind of looks around at the board, looks up, sees they haven't actually labelled the rounds, goes, "Oh shit," and just calls it the third round.
I think he's got Vanna's cleavage on his mind. I think, doesn't he? So
she's still excited. She's still excited though.
I think to channel a Jim Ross talking to Seiko said, "We're live, pal."
Yeah, pretty much.
Peggy Sue, ring any bells? Anybody?
Who? Sorry?
Peggy Sue?
Sensational Sherry.
That's Sherry Martel.
Is it?
It is.
Really?
It is. You can so tell when you look at her closely. But it's Sensational Sherry before she was Sensational Sherry.
I didn't bother I didn't even get... Nah, that's insane. That's weird.
This match was... not great.
No. I mean, to be fair, Brutus isn't the best wrestler in the world. We know this. We've agreed this in the past.
He has built a whole career about being Hulk Hogan's mate. Yes,
and Honky Tonk Man's quite a lot of gimmick as well.
Yeah,
yes, and not much wrestling. Yeah.
Now, I just want to say, as a kid, I never liked this match, and I still don't. I don't know what it was, but it was one of the matches I watched quite early on because it was on the Best of WrestleMania tape. And this is one of the first tapes I ever got. Yeah, I don't know why.
Don't know from when you bought that tape.
And I was so disappointed with it. And like I said, it's always stuck with me. I think the finish is lame. The match is not good.
Yeah.
It just disintegrates into nothing once you've got Bruce the Beefcake chasing Jimmy Hart under the ring to cut his hair.
Yeah.
And Honky Tonk being out in the middle of the ring and then having to pour water on him when all the referees are around him.
Well,
and then him getting DQ'd anyway.
I think the thing is, Honky's he's a really good cowardly heel, but he needs a really good babyface to make that work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think that referee sells the shot with the megaphone well?
No.
Well, the answer is Jimmy Hart give him a real concussion.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That
would do it.
So he was too concussed to sell properly.
He was too concussed to make it look like it actually hurt.
I think there's two problems with this. Number one, the match went 6 minutes. In fact, 3 problems. Number 2, it's not very good. Number 3, this is an intercontinental title match.
It doesn't have that title feel about it at all.
It does not.
Well, considering the fact, as we already said, the year before you've had Macho versus Steamboat.
Yeah.
And then you're getting this.
It has the kind of Lex Luger effect where the champion wins. So the challenger wins in a way that means he doesn't get a belt, but he's still really happy.
It's so stupid.
It's like, why are you cheering? You've got some hair off Jimmy, but you haven't actually won the belt. Why? Where's the confetti coming from? What's going on?
So we cut from this to Bob Uecker being physically abused by Andre the Giant.
Oh, that's one of them iconics. I think it's a great little bit. I really do.
It's been replayed, so yeah. I haven't seen any WrestleMania 4 bar that clip.
Oh, I think it's a great little clip. I really do think it's a fantastic little clip.
To be fair to Andre, right, if we're going to talk about wrestling voices in promos, Andre's was one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
Even though, it was quite hard to make out what he said because of his kind of French accent, but you just kind of knew what he was saying.
He was there, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Whoever Hulk Hogan is.
Yeah. It was almost like Mr. Fuji was in the room there as well. But,
wow.
Yeah, he'll come up later.
Yes, he will.
What are those in little preview?
We're getting to the stage now in this pay-per-view where there's matches coming up that you've forgotten actually are on the card.
Yes.
Because it's so long.
Are we on the 6-man tag yet?
That's just what I was about to say. Yep. You're kind of thinking, oh yeah, there was a promo for this right at the start of the show, wasn't there? Yeah, that feels like a week ago.
Well, I think this match is quite lame, but I do like Bobby Heenan's little antics in this.
Yes. I was going to say, Bobby Heenan coming down to the ring in a sort of...
It's like a dog handler's
dog trainer's jacket, anti-bite jacket is one of the best parts of this, I think.
Yeah.
Probably the best. I mean, the guys in the ring aren't bad. The Islanders and the Bulldogs, I think, are quite good tag teams.
Yeah.
And,
Random question, is Coco's arse blurred out?
I don't know.
No, because it says WWF
on one of the releases, it's got WF on the back of his tights.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if it's on the network, but it's on one of the DVD releases.
Let me look quickly on my phone. Keep talking. I'll have a quick check.
It definitely wasn't blurred because I remember seeing it when I was like, oh,
I remember seeing it and thinking, why has he got the company name on this? Oh.
It's a very loyal employee.
Ventura has a rather questionable bit of commentary in this match when he says that Heenan looks like a Chinaman, and I'm not quite sure what he means by that.
Thankfully, Monsoon kind of skirts over that and just kind of gets back into it.
Yeah. Millions of kids love Matilda, apparently.
Yeah, I don't.
When they tag Brain in to work over Dynamite, and then he gets hit once and just tags out again really quick.
Yeah, well, to be honest, he's lucky he only get hit once by Dynamite.
Oh, well, yeah. Gorilla Monsoon is incredibly concerned about the buckles on Heenan's jacket.
Those buckles are extremely dangerous, Jess, on this outfit. As the Brain hit him with a knee lift with that, what I consider to be a very dangerous outfit that he has on.
Why? It's all just padded to keep from getting bit by dogs.
It's the material, Jess. It's the material. Look at the buckles. Look at the sharp obstacle objects that are on that jacket. You punch somebody, you're liable to break your hand. Stops the Brain right in his tracks. Oh, see now that. If that's some corduroy material of some kind or some burlap, imagine.
Whoa.
Oh, Brain!
Heenan hit that buckle hard.
Well, some would say maybe they'll come into the finish.
But yeah, I've got down here the Islanders lift up Heenan, splash to Coco Beware, and Heenan pins him.
Yeah.
Which is mental.
He gets these WrestleMania moments.
I kind of like that finish though. Like the rest of the match, yeah, whatever. But like that as a finish, I was like, yeah, that's how that match needed to finish. If you're going over, like to use Brain as a weapon to win.
These brains, he used these brains to outsmart the Bulldogs there.
Yeah. And then he runs off the ramp with Matilda kind of chasing him, and then when Bulldog violently trying to get him to attack him.
Yeah, I was going to say they have to basically pretend at the finale of this match that Matilda gives a shit about attacking Heenan when blatantly she doesn't. I think
Bulldog's literally got the dog up in his hands, just kind of like forcing it into like Bobby.
Yeah, he's there kind of going. Rrr. It's like, no. The dog's going to just lick him and that's it.
I need to go back to the ring, give my pal Frankie a lift to the back.
Yeah.
That's what Matilda wants to do. Because we want to see a parrot riding a dog. I don't care
You
what
don't
anybody
want to
says.
see a parrot riding a dog. What are you just like got like Banjo Kazooie things going on?
It's
in your mind?
WrestleMania. If at any point a dog's going to be ridden by a parrot, it's got to be at WrestleMania.
Banjo's not a dog; he's a bear. I know, but you know what I mean.
Close enough. Well, it's no weirder than Jesse Ventura flexing at the audience for like 2 minutes to a massive pop.
No, that was because Howard Finkel expressly asked the audience to look at the announce booth and acknowledge Jesse the Bondi. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? This show's long enough already.
Yeah, I always fast forward that as a kid. I really, really hated that bit, yeah.
It's where he says, can I have your attention, please? Like there's a fire in the auditorium or something, and everyone needs to evacuate.
May I direct your attention to the
WrestleMania sign.
Where Jesse the Body will flex his arms a bit. Yay.
Yeah. And if you're really lucky, you'll get to see something else stretched out later on.
Yep, pretty much.
I think is this where Ted comes back out and he's back into another suit?
Yeah, Ted's got another suit. He comes back out, does a wave, and goes away.
And he's got to buy. Yeah, why did he have to walk all the way down the fucking ring?
Why is he wearing a suit again when he wasn't wearing before? It makes no sense.
I don't know. Where's Virgil? Is he dead?
He's dead.
Has that soft bump in the middle of an aisle killed Virgil?
No, that it was just for Virgil. He fell to the bottom of the ocean, so he's just swimming his way back up as we speak. Yeah.
Right, I see.
Virgil got slammed to the bottom of the ocean. That's insane.
Virgil is slammed into the bottom of the ocean, and that
Are
is
we
when
on
he's
a very lame semi-final match.
Yes, sir.
One man.
We're at
of
that
all
now.
the people to put through to semi-final, you're going to put one man gang through to the semi-final.
Yeah, against Randy Savage, this match was just doomed from the outset.
Yeah.
All 3 minutes of it, whatever it is.
It's not.
I quite like. There's a good bit where Savage grabs one man gang's beard and kind of clotheslines him over the top rope. That was a good bit.
Yeah,
that was alright. But the rest of it was like a bit.
Well, everyone's tired. Everyone wants to go home.
The audience included.
Flick wants to go home, so he just gives one man gang the cane to get deliberately disqualified.
Yeah,
well, he starts on this, doesn't he? He gets Liz up on the apron. She distracts the ref. In comes the cane, and then Gang's just trying to stab Randy Savage. I think he's literally trying to kill him by trying to stab him with the cane.
I don't know what this was, but
just keeps doing it, and then the ref sees it and it disqualifies him. And that's it.
DQs him.
Yeah.
Which I always think is pretty stupid for heels to like do stuff like that in the middle of tournaments for like titles. It's a bit like
I'm sure Monsoon or Ventura kind of say that on the commentaries. Like, why is he doing that for, the idiot?
Anywho, so we have finally made it through the dirt, the bulge, the absolute horrendousness to the semi-main event, which is the WWF Tag Team Championship match of the defending team Strike Force against the challengers Demolition.
Yeah, we get Vanna kind of comes in and she's like, "I've got to go," and he's going back down to the ring, doesn't she? Because I know she says she's still excited.
I know, it's so exciting.
It's all very exciting.
And she's off.
She knows everything about wrestling. That's why she's here.
Yes, she knows who the biggest stars, if you know what I mean. Wink.
Steady on. Strike Force may be about to drop the belts, but they win the trophy for worst music of the night because their music is absolutely terrible.
Oh, there it is. The champions are about to make their appearance. Tito Santana, Rick Martel, Strike Force. Obviously, Jess, Demolition not impressed.
It's so bad.
It is.
I don't actually remember what the music was. I must have
It is so bad.
Girls in Cars or something like that, isn't it? Guys in Cars, something like that.
If they've redubbed it for the network, it is absolutely terrible.
Is it worse than the American Males' theme? Which is just the words American Males over and over again.
That sounds almost painfully erotic.
Painfully erotic. Oof.
Isn't it weird seeing Tito Santana and Rick Martel with belts on?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to remind myself. I was like, oh god, yeah, they held titles.
They actually held titles. And Tito's an XLIII champion as well, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Who, of course, is referred to as Chico Santana for the entirety of the match by Jesse Ventura, as is tradition during this period.
Of course.
During the racist period of WWE.
During the racist period.
Which is still ongoing.
Did anyone else notice, like, Smash had something weird in his knee pad? He had, like, a kind of, like, it looked like, I don't know, like the top of a box of tissue, something, like, stuffed into his knee pad. I thought there was going to be some kind of,
he forgot to take his miniature out that he was enjoying before going through Gorilla.
I don't know what it was. It was like a kind of like a white thing stuffed into the top of his knee pad.
Oh yeah, he said, yeah.
He never actually used it for anything. It was just kind of there, but
Yeah.
I thought it was like some extra padding or something like that. If he'd bust his knee or something, maybe. I don't know.
I quite enjoyed this match, I gotta say.
It's essentially like a bit of a squash, isn't it? Because Demolition work over Strike Force. They kind of come back a little bit. We get a Boston Crab, bit of ref distraction, and then we get Martel gets waffled by a cane.
Yep, the second match in a row involving the cane.
Yeah.
So it is, yeah.
No one's paying attention. But it works this one, doesn't it? It failed in the last one. It works in this one because Mr. Fuji's devious. That's why.
Devious Mr. Fuji.
Is this the start of the Strike Force split?
I think so.
No, you got a whole year for that. But Rick Martel went off telly for about 6 months.
Yeah. Because it kind of seemed like, as like he was like lying there after being like absolutely waffled by Axe with the cane, like Martel is just in the corner just smashing Fuji's head off the apron.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's like,
continue.
Why did you bring the cane in the match?
And he doesn't even kind of turn around to kind of do like a last minute save, but yeah, like he misses that. Martel gets pinned and Demolition of the champs, which I assume
good pop, by the way.
Yeah,
it's probably the best reaction the crowd gave on it because the crowd just did not care.
It's Strike Force, isn't it? It's terrible.
Most of the crowd reactions on this night are horrendously bad.
Yeah.
Is it because I don't know if it's just because like New Jersey's not like a traditional wrestling town or something like that. It's just it's nowhere near like your New York or your Chicago.
I think I said this to you in Discord. I think because obviously this is at the Trump Plaza, I imagine a lot of this crowd was free complimentary tickets. I imagine they've got a lot of people that just wanted to go see a cabaret show, but they ended up at the wrestling and were like, "The fuck is this?"
This will be fun for half an hour. 4 hours later.
How do we get out?
It's a bit like when, on a much, much bigger scale, obviously this is, but it's a bit like when like TNA used to do like TV tapings on like the soundstage at Universal.
Yeah.
And it was just a case of like, people would just get in because it was part of the bloody theme park and it would just, no one cared.
There were some absolute bellends that got in every single week. You'd see them on TV making a arse of themselves. Like, look at me. He's like, yeah, you're at TNA. Whoop-de-doo.
When Mike Bennett was the first person to pin EC3 and EC3 had like a 2.5-year win streak. Yeah. And then it's that night. It's like the reaction to that is complete silence because most people in the building at the time didn't know who they were.
They thought they were in the queue for like the Back to the Future ride and were disappointed when they got to the end of the queue.
Yeah. This might be the same, but on a much massive, bigger scale.
I'm pretty sure my in-laws were there one time. They went on holiday. I think they went to Florida or somewhere like that. They came back and said, "Oh, we saw a wrestling show. Hulk Hogan was there." I was like, "Oh, guys, I felt like I needed to apologise."
They were at the TNA.
Yeah. I take it this was the start of the big Demolition title run, was it? It feels like it is.
Usually the opening for Al to come in.
Sorry, my phone's ringing again. I've just muted it. What was the question?
Is this when like Demolition's big title run starts?
Hang on, let's have a think. 88, yes, and they lose it in 89 to the Brainbusters, I think.
So it'll be that big one that like the New Day beat. Was it a few years ago? They kind of get that they beat the kind of communal days from, did they, something like that?
Yeah.
Yes, 478 days. A record that's essentially been broken by the New Day in 2016.
Whoopee. So
they were the longest of the classic World Tag Team Champion title era.
That was a good sentence.
Thank you. I kind of felt like I missed it halfway through, but I kind of think I got it back and it'll work in the edit.
You didn't. Anyway, so on the subject of apologies, for some bizarre reason, we get reintroduced to Robin Leach because we couldn't forget about him the first time.
Who comes out to what can only be described as fairy tale music.
Robin Leach bringing down the coveted World Wrestling Federation Championship belt. As it's come to this, Jess, we will have, in fact, an undisputed World Wrestling Federation champion.
It's kind of like a little twinkly, kind of like bring, bring, bring.
I thought Liberace was back.
Yeah, as he's kind of coming down the steps, kind of like teasing people by letting them touch the bell. Like, no, you can't. Oh, no, you can't. No.
No.
Fucking stupid.
Why is he bringing the belt down? I don't understand what's going on.
Well, he's presenting it to the winner, while Bob Uecker is the guest ring announcer, does a terrible job, and the timekeeper is Vanna White because she's a woman and should be out of the picture, apparently.
Is anyone else sick of the sight of Bob Uecker at this point in time?
I was sick of a lot of people by this point in time, but Bob Uecker was one of them.
Yeah, well,
Bob Uecker is the Hall of Famer.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
God. Yeah, he probably will be.
And Coco Beware.
Yeah, true.
What was really weird was Vanna White coming out to the Wheel of Fortune theme.
Not really, because she presents Wheel of Fortune.
I know, but but it's like, why am I hearing the Wheel of Fortune theme on a WWF show? What's going on? Why am I at my nan's in the 80s? I don't understand.
So you know what? The dubbed version of WrestleMania 6, that's got the Wheel of Fortune theme on.
Just imagine though, in an alternative universe, this was a UK show, and that was John Leslie.
Now, is this John Leslie pre or post accusations?
Oh, I thought we used our quarter for tonight. What John Leslie does with his chemistry set is...
It would have been Wesley because Vanna White wasn't the host; she was the person turning the letters around.
Yeah,
of course,
she
can't be a host. She's a woman.
Was it Carol Smiley that did the Wheel of Fortune in the UK?
Yeah, it would have been Carol Smiley.
Yeah, okay.
Carol Smiley,
so Bob Uecker would have been running around trying to get Carol Smiley for the entire show.
What an amazing tangent we've gone on in the final match of the show.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
we made it. I'm very proud of you all. We're at the final. Well done, guys. Well done.
Yes, we made it. So the finals of the World Heavyweight Championship, longest match ever something. Ted DiBiase versus Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah. Virgil's still dead, but Andre's with him, so that's fine.
And the crowd are so into this, the first thing they do is chant for Hogan.
Yes.
Well, it's only after Hogan interferes, Andre interferes, isn't it? Andre kind of grabs Macho's leg and Macho's kicking off, and then Andre's face, he just kind of looks off to one side like, I didn't do nothing. What are you talking about? I don't know. Well, it's hard to get across on a podcast. He just kind of looks off to one side like shrugging his shoulders. He just fell out of the ring, didn't he? It wasn't my fault. Yeah. And then I think that's the point where they start the crowd start calling for Hogan as they need the equalizer on Hogan's side, because Liz is not going to stop Andre, is she? Let's be honest with ourselves.
That would be a funny visual.
That would be amazing if the second person to slam Andre the Giant was Elizabeth.
I would actually pay money to go back in time and make that happen.
Yeah, that would have taken the shine off WrestleMania 3 slightly, wouldn't it? Kind of the slam heard around the world, and then Elizabeth did it a year later.
We get some more amazing Ted selling when he gets clotheslined on the top rope and just flips himself a full 360 degrees.
Yes,
Ted's brilliant. I really like DiBiase. Yeah, he was so good.
He's also a really nice guy when you meet him.
Oh, here we go.
I wouldn't know.
I've enjoyed that story by mistake. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Me and Al do.
I've met Ted DiBiase.
Yes.
I have my picture with DiBiase.
You do, yeah. I remember that.
And he brought the $1 million belt. I've held the $1 million belt.
He did.
I am kind of jealous of you for that.
Which is now back on WWE television.
It is.
Yeah.
In the hands of Mr. LA Knight.
In the hands of LA Knight, yeah. Al's like, what?
I know I've been following the storyline a bit. He beat me at an auction and stuff. I've watched a bit of it.
Yep, that's correct.
Oh, yeah, aye. Because Cameron Grimes won dog coin, as he called it.
Yes.
And we've now become a millionaire.
It's such a stupid storyline, but it's amazing at the same
It's
time.
just funny because it's Cameron Grimes. It's just great.
Exactly. Such an asshole.
So are we? See, I feel you guys don't want this pay-per-view to end. I feel like you've had so much.
Well, go on then, Al. Go on then, Al.
But we're talking about everything but the pay-per-view, Alan.
Al, you take us home.
Well, it's so where we got to. So Elizabeth goes to the back and brings back Mr. Hogan to try and neutralise Andre the Giant. Mr. Hogan's a bit tired from slamming Andre before, so he needs a chair to sit in the corner. We then have a spot where Ted puts him in the $1 Million Dream, is that right?
Yeah.
And then I think the referee's distracted by Andre, so Hogan finds the need to come in the ring with a chair, like the good sportsman he is.
Yeah.
And waffle DiBiase with it. Savage elbow, then finishes things, and we have our undisputed new WWF champion.
Hooray!
Yep. As you get Hogan, Liz, and Macho celebrating in the ring, which Monsoon describes as, well, he says, I'm not quite sure it's quite as intended as I heard it in my brain. He says, what a threesome, Jess.
Oh my.
I was like, oh, hang on.
Foreshadowing.
Whoa. Hang on there, Monsoon.
And of course, you get that great iconic image of Savage holding Elizabeth up with the title, and I always think that's a really good little thing.
You get that iconic image of Macho holding up Liz with the belt, with Hogan's head kind of poking in from the bottom left corner, going, "I'm still here. I'm still in the ring."
And then you get the bit where Hogan, they do the handshake and everything, and and that to me that sets up that's your next year's main event setting up right there, which I think is fantastic.
Although what we didn't talk about when we had the Andre match earlier, Hogan Andre, is that after Hogan the WDQ, Hogan spends like 10 minutes doing like his entire like post match repertoire.
Yeah, and
all
Ventura
the corners.
hates him for it.
Yeah, he's like, why are you celebrating?
He goes into he wants to do his pose down.
Yeah, that's probably why they did it last minute. Like, oh, he did that. I'm going to do some promo and tell Fink to look at me for 10 minutes. But yeah, it's Hogan just can't get out of the ring, can he? He just has to stay in the ring for the
This is my big problem with this. You've got like a world champion who's been crowned for the first time, but it's still all about Hulk Hogan, even though he's had one match in the night.
Mm.
Well, they were worried, they wanted to pass another torch moment.
I just did, but they spent years trying to pass bloody torches away from Hogan, and it never.
Oh, sorry. When you're that good, fans don't forget.
Here we go.
Oh.
But the passing of the torch moment is Macho wins. Hogan shakes his hand and then exits the ring and goes back up the ramp. Like, and leaves Macho with his moment by himself in the ring, not just kind of walking around getting in all the camera shots.
Well. Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was WrestleMania 4.
Can I just have my little summing up moment? I've written a paragraph of summarization at the end.
As long as you read it like that guy reading the script.
All right. WrestleMania 4 is a WrestleMania that no one really talks about, and we can now see why. The tournament format means that each match has no build and no time to develop. By the time you get to the final, you're pretty much sick of seeing Savage, and it's a waste of him completely. I usually have lots of time for him, but not on this occasion. Even though he's out early doors, it's still all about bloody Hulk Hogan, and he keeps a major presence even at the final that he's not actually in. The undercard matches are also nothing to write home about. Not offensively bad as a show, but pretty bloody forgettable all the same.
I want to die.
You forgot the champagne wishes at the end, but that was very good.
Champagne wishes for this dull pay-per-view.
Well, you see, I've always enjoyed it. However, I do think there's too many matches on the card. It should have trimmed a lot of the nonsense matches and maybe just had the quarterfinals.
If it was like from like 8 down to the fight, then
couldn't they have done like the opening rounds in like Wrestling Challenge or something like that?
Well, that's what you get to like King of the Ring, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. They moved them all up onto Raw. Then you had the semis and the finals on pay-per-view, wouldn't you?
Yeah, people started having like a major fit the fact that King of the Ring only did the semi-finals and the final on the actual pay-per-view. But this is probably the reason why.
Yeah, I mean, it is just a rerun of the Wrestling Classic, isn't it?
See, I don't think there's anything really bad or anything, but it could have been done better. But I still think it's a decent show. I don't think it's a bad show.
It's historical for the final moment at the end.
Hmm. But the thing is, like, there's like, it would have been so. Imagine you have the Steamboat Savage match, WrestleMania 3. Only it's this WrestleMania, and Savage wins the belt at the end of it. That's what you could have built to, was Steamboat Savage in the final as a replay of that match.
You could have had if Steamboat won the match for the Intercontinental a year before, but then Steamboat wins. No, Savage wins the world title off Steamboat in the rematch a year later.
No,
I think it's always going to be a DiBiase Savage final. That's the way I think they're always going to be.
Yeah,
they're probably the two best guys in it at the time. That's
probably the story. Is like it's Ted trying to buy the belt, isn't it? By hook or by crook, he's going to win that belt.
Yeah. But I like the way that Ventura comes up with the idea. When Andre and Hogan go to a draw, Ventura on commentary does say maybe it was Ted DiBiase's plan all along, so he gets to fight at the final. And Gorilla kind of dismisses it and says, "Oh no, don't be so ridiculous." I go, no, but that's totally what a heel would do.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what Andre. I think Andre comes out as a promo before the Owens match. He says that. He says, "Yeah, Ted paid me money to get Hogan out. That's what I did."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So it's like, but it's the way that Gorilla Monsoon just goes, nah, it would never happen. No, honest, upstanding citizen Ted DiBiase bribing people for his own gain.
As if that would happen.
Well, I did indeed. I enjoyed it, but however, there's a reason I might enjoy it.
All right.
2 reasons. Number 1, I think it might have been the first WrestleMania I saw.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Fair enough.
I can't remember whether because my friend had the double tape up the street, and I can't remember if I had the if I'd saw it before WrestleMania 8 or not. But it was either my first or my second WrestleMania.
I'm pretty sure 5 was the first one I saw. Not, but I can't really remember watching the entire thing, but I'm pretty sure it's 5 from when we did that show.
Because you've got the double tape, I could just watch it in 2 sittings. I would never watch it back to back. You watch one tape one night and then the other tape the other night. So you don't have to have a really long 4-hour experience.
If any kind of WrestleMania needed to be across 2 nights, it's probably this one.
Probably, yeah, I'd say so. It's an early candidate for a 2-night one.
I believe this did have the record for the most matches on a card, but it's been beat by Modern Days, I think.
I wouldn't be
surprised.
surprised.
Yeah, once you now count all like the pre-shows and whatever, and then 7.5 hour long pay-per-views.
The last WrestleMania had
still
like
short.
24 matches?
This WrestleMania is still short compared to Modern Days.
It's like over 3 hours, which is unusual for that day and age.
Yeah.
Most of them were done within like 2.5, 2
3 hours 30, I think it is. 3 hours 33, something like that.
So it's 3 hours 33 on the network.
Yeah.
Question is, gentlemen, where is it going on the list?
Well, I was just going to ask that question. So, I think it's safe to say it's better than Brawl for All.
Yeah. Well,
definitely better than Brawl for All.
As a point of comparison, the Wrestling Classic is at 26, and WrestleMania 5 is at number 24.
Well, I definitely think WrestleMania 5 is better.
Yes.
Yes, I would agree with that.
I think it's better than the Wrestling Classic, but it's not better than the Great American Bash 89.
I'd say I enjoyed watching the Great American Bash 89 more.
Yep. Does everyone agree with that? Al?
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay, so by order of the Conquistadores, WrestleMania 4 is the 26th best pay-per-view of all time.
Huzzah! And that's Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
I will never do a 60-match show ever again.
No, I'm just going to do like what Al does with Japanese shows and just pull out.
I beg your pardon.
So, who is driving the fun bus next month?
I think it's Phil.
I think it's Phil as well.
I'm pretty sure it's me.
Come on, Phil. Tell us what we're doing.
Let me go and find what my thing is. Where's the...
Jesus, you're meant to know.
Where's the upcoming list? No, because remember last week I kind of forgot what it was. I had to go and double check.
Yeah, don't let Phil check, because he's the one that fucked up the Halloween Havoc one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we watched the wrong Halloween Havoc.
I updated it.
Phil can take as many notes as he wants.
Am I ever going to live that down? You make one mistake and it lives with you for the entirety of the podcast.
I will. If the circumstances permit, I will say that at your wake.
Wow.
You've got to read it like that guy, though, off the written film.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll get it up in front of everyone, and everyone will kind of go, I thought this guy was Scottish.
He's clearly Australian. That'll be like on my deathbed, like, at the funeral, Cam, who'll do my eulogy as the guy from the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Thud.
Yeah. My children cried, it's what he would have wanted.
Yeah. As I get this ominous phone call. We need you to come down to Gloucester.
You are summoned.
Has the time come?
The one I'm picking, right, out the door straight away, it's WCW.
Ooh.
All right.
It's 1992.
Okay.
Ooh. It's Starrcade, Battle Bowl, The Lethal Lottery 2.
Oh, why?
Have we not done that one? Or we did the first one?
We did the first one, but...
Oh, well, I've ironically actually watched that one on the network.
There is, like, the card's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Apart from the Lethal Lottery bits.
It's all surprise.
There is, like... There's one moment, I saw one moment from this pay-per-view on, the kind of GIF Twitter accounts.
Yeah.
It was one moment for one of the matches. I was like, I want to see the rest of that match to see how they got to that point. Which I will reveal that when we do the show next time.
Sure. All right. Okay. So Starrcade 92.
Yeah.
Well, I have one thing to say to you.
Yeah.
You're a cunt.
Come on.
And you saw WrestleMania 4 was bad.
We've got.
It's just not random bloody tag teams.
We've got Masahiro Chono defeated versus the Great Muta.
It's still Battle Bowl.
Yeah, but it's going to be awesome.
Just looking at the card right now.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Is it like Vader? Is it Vader and someone against Stevie Ray? I think that's one of the matches.
Jeez.
You got Big Man Vader and Dustin Rhodes
because I know there's two of them.
Oh my God! Van Hammer and Danny Spivey versus Johnny Bad and Cactus Jack.
Come on.
Oh, okay, I maybe change my mind about this then.
No, you've got Masahiro Chono versus the Great Muta. So, to be fair.
Oh, okay, Phil. I rescind my C-bomb.
You see?
I apologize.
You got
Shane Douglas and Ricky Steamboat in a tag team.
That's Battle Ball for you. Wait, no, that's the tag team championship match.
Yeah, they're an actual tag team.
There's not enough tag team matches on the card.
Hang fucking fire! Muta's in the tag Battle Bowl and the title match.
Yeah, why not?
What?
Double payday.
Well, we've got a whole month to prepare for it.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Also, what the hell is the King of Cable tournament?
Don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like King of Laying the Cable or not. Or whatever. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I dread to think it's WCW. It could be anything. It could be Cable.
Oh, hold on.
You're in a ring for winning the thing.
Hold on. There's a better tournament. There is the 1992 Jesse Ventura Invitational Strongest Arm Wrestling Tournament that was held in WCW Worldwide.
Well, that sounds like a one for the future.
That sounds amazing.
And do you want to know who won that?
Jesse Ventura?
Van Hammer.
Oh, my.
Nice.
How did he beat Ron Simmons?
Ron Simmons.
Oh, damn.
What?
After Van Hammer beat Vader.
Man, Van Hammer's got an arm on him.
I'm going to have to find this. Hopefully this is in the network.
It's just, this will be like the Bart Gunn scenario all over again, isn't it?
We
want someone to win it and stupid Van Hammer comes along and wins it.
Ron Simmons over, but
stupid Van Hammer.
We'll have Van Hammer winning it.
They were hoping Sylvester Stallone would be in the final.
Oh, yeah, with Over the Top, yeah.
There you go. The King of Cable tournament was an 8-man tournament conducted to celebrate the 20th anniversary of wrestling airing on TBS Superstation.
Oh, okay, so it's a Wahoo thing that Ted Turner came up with then. Okay.
So you've got that and is it the Battle Ball Battle Royal at the end as well?
Yep.
God, you've got a lot of crap going on in this pay-per-view. I mean, how many matches are on it?
10.
10.
All right, sounds like it's got more.
Oh, no, it's 9 because one was a dark match.
You'll be begging to do WrestleMania 4 again after that pay-per-view.
I did WrestleMania 9 after this.
That's what we're doing. Starrcade 92.
All right.
Okay.
I think. Cool. I feel confident. I feel like there's going to be some diamonds in this rough.
Wait. Oh, wait. So there's only 2 rings in this one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's good. World War with the 3 rings.
Yeah,
because it's WCW. That's the rules to Conquistabores for WCW shows. Is there has to be at least 2 rings, at least. There has to be a ridiculous tournament involved there at some point. Arachnaman is optional.
Oh,
this is a note for the future, by the way. When you say 2 rings,
yep,
do they have to be next to each other?
Oh, I know what you're thinking.
I know the one you're thinking of as well. I think, yeah.
I'm not sure if I do, but either way, I'm scared.
I'm thinking late 90s WCW.
And would it be a case of maybe one ring would be much, 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 much bigger than the other one?
I know what you're thinking of.
When you say much bigger, do you mean taller or?
No, I mean wider.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not thinking of the same thing then.
Okay. Just checking for
do I need to put your pick in now then, Cam? Is that what you're saying?
No. I might. I don't know how disastrous it would be. Just leave it for now. I'll just.
I don't know how disastrous it would be.
Network.
Cameron,
it's totally on the network.
Cameron, we've reviewed Brawl for All. Nothing can be any more disastrous than that.
True.
I'm sure we can find something worse than that.
No.
I just want to get, it's still 3-3 in the match. We have 25 minutes played of extra time, so there's a good chance we're going to pounce.
All right.
What a shame that the show's going to finish without us getting that resolved, that thread through the podcast.
Yeah, you'll just have to.
It's been a bloody good game.
But you've been
watching all the way through this.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just talking. I can talk and watch things at the same time.
That makes me very scared.
That's just
What else has Al been watching while we've been podcasting?
I mean, I can watch it, which makes me think I'll just watch Battle Ball on mute next time.
Just talk about the show as you're watching it.
I'll just live reactions.
Oh my god!
Fucking hell, man! Van Hammer's pinned him.
No, that's a Patreon
the
reward.
strongest arm in WCW.
No, that's as a Patreon reward. Al doing live calls of old pay-per-views.
Oh,
No,
we'd go with that. We'd go with that.
That'd be on Al's OnlyFans, wouldn't it?
Yep,
pretty much.
Only
yeah.
Al.
Only Al.
£69 a month.
If you wish to get in touch with the show, then the best way is probably the Conquistabores Twitter handle at the Conquistabores.
Conquista Twitter.
Conquista Twitter, which me and Phil at least man at the best of times.
I was meant to get access to it, but I was never given the details.
Haven't I? I'll do that now.
Okay. Oh, it's totally. It's just stick it on your phone. It's great. Just tweet random nonsense.
I will do that.
Antagonize people on Instagram, and then on Twitter, including the guy I was having an argument with the other night about how he thought that Otis hadn't faded since last year.
Oh God!
Otis hasn't faded. He's got some really good storylines. What?
Really?
Since being within touching distance of a world title?
You're arguing with WWE, modern day WWE hardcore fans who have probably got the intellectual capacity of a wet napkin. So
Whoa!
He's on the
sauce
tonight.
The spicy takes.
Spicy takes tonight.
Not spicy. It's stating the truth. If you're into a storyline involving a doll, you should probably. I won't say that. No.
No.
You should probably stop watching television.
There was a story involving a man in love with a mop once.
Oh, we mentioned about them releasing Tyler Breeze. I can't remember if we have or not.
No,
we haven't.
What a crime! What a crime!
Yeah, but it's one of them things that there's people that are not gonna really. I mean, how much more would Tyler Breeze have done?
All I want to say is like when I got into NXT, Tyler Breeze was a big part of that kind of during that period when Adrian Neville was the champion. He had the kind of the fatal 4-way match at the NXT takeover, and all that kind of leading into the Zayn and Neville
Tyler
program, which
Breeze's
was amazing.
Intro NXT Brooklyn that we reviewed.
Yeah, NXT Brooklyn. Like I think he just got tarred with that when he came up into Breezango. He got tarred with that comedy stick, and he just couldn't get away from it.
Yeah, he was another one that went to the main roster and just died because he was given absolute garbage.
Yeah, but like the kind of this kind of chicken shit heel, like Ted DiBiase kind of style in a way. That kind of
Only Ted DiBiase was cool.
Yeah, well, Tyler Breeze was cool. He was pretty.
Yeah, but no. You know what I mean? Like cool as in people respect him, whereas they look at Tyler Breeze and go, "That's a geek."
Yeah. I think like they respected him during his NXT run, but when they came up to the main roster, they just kind of squandered all that.
Yep.
And what could have been like a real kind of good heel character for him was just kind of turned into. I mean, we got the Fashion Cops out of it, which was brilliant. I'm not going to argue we didn't get good stuff out of it, but it's like all that potential you could have used and had, it's gone. But then that's the sentence we've seen a lot over the last kind of couple of weeks. All people let go.
I mean, Nick Khan's apparently been quoted as saying that he doesn't believe in doing what the WWE have been doing for a few years and carrying on with it, which was effectively just buy up talent so no one else could have them.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was,
and that's financially not the way to go about it, which is probably true.
It's clearly what they did around the time. Was it when they did the TV deal and then AEW was kind of being rumored? They just kind of signed people left, right, and center, weren't they?
Well, even before that, I mean, they've had years of just having ruling the roost as far as companies are concerned. We have this whole thing where it's like independent. People come up from independent wrestling going, "Oh, you've got to get to WrestleMania. That's your biggest crown moment. You've got to get to WrestleMania." And obviously, to get to WrestleMania, you've got to be in the WWE. So that was seemingly portrayed as the only way you can get success in wrestling.
You can be at WrestleMania at the pointless battle royal.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, exactly. And you probably will. Most people will be. No one's. The amount of people that have main evented WrestleMania is fairly small
compared to the total amount of people who
who've been in the WWE at any one time.
Yeah.
So I think it's my point for that is that. I think there needs to be this whole thing of success in wrestling can be measured by a multitude of things. And some of them don't involve... Some wrestlers just do not gel well with the WWE system.
Yeah.
Because it is a machine, and it will, suck you up and spit you back out again when it's done with you.
Yeah.
Well, just a relative, maybe a bit of a comparative summary, but it's topical at the moment. Wimbledon, everyone goes on about Wimbledon, right? And tennis players dream to win Wimbledon, right? Mm. Whereas in reality, the majority of tennis players hate Wimbledon because it's on grass. And they don't see the point of training for a 2-week tournament because barely any of the tournament the whole year is played on grass. So they can't see the point of putting the effort in to play on grass. So they'll turn up to get their appearance money. So that's why you see a lot of big names get knocked out early at Wimbledon because the clay court players are hardcore players. But yeah, for them, winning Wimbledon's not their pinnacle of dream. They'd rather win the French Open or the Australian Open or something like that. Yeah, winning Wimbledon isn't the pinnacle of a lot of tennis players' achievements, but you're made to believe that is the pinnacle of winning tennis.
Yeah, it's a comparison. It's this kind of myth that generates around it. Oh, you to be a proper wrestler / tennis player or whatever, you have to win this. And I think a lot of indie talent get kind of sucked into that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they end up kind of going to WWE and just having a shit time of it. When they'd probably just be better just staying on the indies or just going to other smaller companies like Impact or Ring of Honor or something like that, and just being there and doing really, really well there.
What is nuts though? With all the money WWE have been making over the last kind of couple of years, all the TV deals and stuff, and the amount of people they let go, they probably could have restarted WCW with all the people they've let go.
Oh, bro, yeah, there's that argument. You could make a decent, and there's probably an article in there somewhere that you could make a decent first night card for a first pay-per-view show featuring people who have just been released.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I still think, what the main event off the top of your head, Tommy Yen versus Big Damo.
Yeah.
Which I would pay to see.
Up and down the card, you got people left, right, and centre, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Doing that way. But it's I think there's a really weird situation in the UK as well with this, because obviously NXT UK is still sort of ticking over. And what I'd be interested in is when there was that rumour going around a little while ago about how the WWE were interested in working with New Japan. They didn't start, they didn't march into Japan and then start NXT Japan.
Yeah.
They wanted to work with New Japan. Whereas over here in the UK, it was, no, fuck yous, we're starting NXT UK, we're having your talent.
Yeah.
Why did we just stand aside and let them in?
But to me, they've barely done anything with the majority of NXT UK. You could blame COVID on some of it, but they haven't done that much over here, have they?
I think they're getting better, and I have read somewhere that B. Priestley is going to be in shortly, as in the next 2 weeks, I think. So that's going to help.
Fired from AEW, B. Priestley.
Yeah, that one.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, doesn't that when did it actually start? Was it 2018 or 19 when the show started?
18, I think.
I can't remember. It was because it didn't feel like there wasn't much of a touring thing to it before then. Obviously, COVID hit, and that just kind of took the whole legs out from underneath it, didn't it? So
yeah.
Yep.
I just think it's
Starrcade 1992.
Yeah, Starrcade 92. We're getting into a conversation that could go on all night. But
with a penalty shootout starting.
Oh God! Quick, end the show.
Jesus, end it. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see you next month, guys. Thanks for listening.
Hopefully, when we are watching the Olympics, we'll get the weightlifting throughout the next show or something.
Probably.
I'm in sport and commentary.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Hold on. They play tennis at the Olympics, don't they? Oh shit.
No, I'll be on the fences, won't he? That's what I'll watch. Or the modern pentathlon.
Probably. As long as he's not watching beach volleyball.
You can get a question. Al's a question hour during the next podcast. God, I can feel the tension here. Switzerland are stepping up.
I thought that was our sexy talk then. I was getting really confused.
He says that to all the girls. Hello, pet. I can feel the tension here.
Hugo Lloris just in his socks. And we have the beginning of the shootout.
Why are you talking about socks?
He's adjusting his socks.
Oh, right. That's not what I heard.
Has he got a foreign object in there? I think what's going on?
Right, the referee's about to blow his whistle. We've got
end the record.
Here we go.
This is the finish after the music. I'll keep this.
And number 19 steps up and he's taking the penalty and it's in. Switzerland are 1-0 up. Pogba steps up with his silly haircut. He's taking a long run up for this one. Paused, still paused. Here it comes, Stutters, and top corner. That was a good penalty. Number 22 steps up. Oh, what a penalty. Number 5.
Okay, you want it.
Very good, Switzerland.
Yeah,
come on, I mean, if you've got this far, you've got to stay at the end. You've got this far. 4-3. Switzerland, come on, Switzerland. Right, nobody's missed yet. I just think it was such a good story for them. They're 3-1 down, man. 3-1
I'm not a Toblerone ages.
The Swiss embrace neutrality and have given us the cuckoo clock.
What's the chocolate? The kind of purple chocolate with the cows on it? Milka. There you go. I was going to get some of that in. Never mind the Bourneville.
We are in sudden death, gentlemen. Sudden death.
I feel like I've been in sudden death the last 2 hours.
Harsh. Brutal comment.
Right, boys. I don't fancy this Swiss guy, but I would like. He looks a bit like Gareth Southgate. I would like him to score.
Oh Lord, it's not good omen.
Come on.
He'll be doing adverts for Swiss Pizza Hut next month.
Well, it's now
the
French's turn. So they can be doing.
It's now the Frenchies' turn.
The French's turn.
Frenchies, he said, not Frenchies. That's
bad enough, surely.
And if France miss, Switzerland are through. Here we go, boys. I feel this night is built for this. It's all about tournaments tonight. It's all about tournaments. And here we are. We're at the end. You know, we're waiting for Hogan to run up with his steel chair.
Oh, Messi, you froggy bastard. Yes!
Yeah! You must be a bit ahead of me there, but they're not checking something on there. They better not be checking it.
No, I don't think so. Ram it up, you Mbappe.
Yeah, Liverpool won't want to buy him now. Oh, that was fantastic. I've had a great night, gentlemen. That was just rounded it off. You know, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed this. Sorry, this was a good podcast, and the backdrop of the football was perfect. What a fantastic night. Thank you, gentlemen. I've really enjoyed it.
It is exciting. I'm having a great time.